Greetings. Welcome to Golden Sessions with docPEACE on KNSJ 89.1 FM. I'm docPEACE, Doctor of Pharmacy, Transformational Rhythmic Speaker, and Empowerment Guru. Golden Sessions is a time for us to connect and reset with doses of inspiration to empower confidence and foster global unity. Featuring golden starlings from all over the world who are shining their light so bright to ignite our light and remind us all that together we thrive. Today we have Miss Rhona Bennett. Miss Rhona is a member of the contemporary R&B en vogue, founder of Personal Power University, and executive producer and host of Emerge. Thank you so much for joining us today, Miss Rhona.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for that beautiful intro. And your voice is so fabulous for radio.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Let's just dive right in. Can you share with us more of who you are? What makes you gold, a genuine, original, loving dreamer?
Oh, look at these words. I am so happy to have a spirit and an energy like yours going and cutting through our airwaves. You're going to provide, I think, an amazing balance for the age that we're coming into. So thank you for the work that you're getting ready to do. I can already feel that it is so powerful and beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you. That means so much coming from you, Miss Rhona.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So I am, just a little bit about me. I've been in the entertainment business for over 30 years. I am also a personal power life coach, an intuitive coach. I have an online coaching school. It's a virtual coaching school called Personal Power University. I am lucky enough, I think, to be doing two things in particular that I'm super duper passionate about. My bottom line is breakthrough with people. A friend of mine said to me, you can't coach what you don't love. And I was like, wow, what a way to say it. In order to achieve breakthrough, you do have to love somebody into that space to get it, right? And so I hope that that's what makes me gold.
Beautiful. You are gold. I honestly, truly believe that you are. I've had the honor of meeting you in person a couple years ago. I remember we were twinning at that time.
I know.
20.
And you still look fabulous. You make me want to get back to my stuff.
Oh, thank you, Rhona. You look fabulous as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I am so curious. How did you initially discover your golden attributes? How did they come about? How did you discover that you are gold, a genuine, original, loving dreamer?
Life experiences. When I had my dreams initially, it was to be an entertainer. And, I got bitten by the entertainment bug young enough that I didn't have enough doubt seeping into my world to tell me that I couldn't have it. So I went after it. And I was able to get some success from it. However, when you go through this business, it's not necessarily the easiest terrain to traverse, right? It has its ups and its downs. We're one of the most vulnerable industries to whatever's happening in the world. I mean, we just really got rocked by COVID. You can't come to large gatherings. Well, there goes concerts, right? So you can't do small gatherings. Well, there goes the movie set. So, digital world, the digital boom, when it came, it rocked our world. A lot of people left the industry. So it's come with ups and downs. It's come with a lot of soul searching. That was something that came not only as a byproduct of that, but just as a conscious choice for myself. When I moved out to California at 18, I remember the burning questions I had in my spirit about what is God and who am I and what's my purpose? And there was this movie that was out at the time called Contact. This was back in 96. I moved out there in 95, but in 96, Jodie Foster did a movie called Contact, and she was on this quest for God. And I was like, that's where I'm at. And I was going to put my career on hold to figure out, these aspects of what make you gold. But I remember having a spiritual kind of mother through my ex-boyfriend. They're amazing people. And she said, Rhona, I've been there. You don't have to put yourself on hold. Just keep living.
Wow.
Just keep being, just keep doing, just keep experiencing. And so that's what I did. I was a conscious experiencer. I was willing to face my stuff. It hasn't been easy, but it's been rewarding.
Wow. Wow, that's beautiful. What were Can you take us back to a moment where you had to push through to really tap into your gold even more? Like a moment that you felt down, that you had to really kind of remind yourself what you are capable of to really overcome.
Oh, yeah. There's one moment, there's a couple moments, but one in particular that's very significant for me happened in my mid 30s. I had been working professionally in the entertainment business. That was the only job I've had. And the recession hit. I remember, do you remember this movie called The Secret? And they kind of made
Yeah.
law of attraction sexy. You know, they packaged it up good. And it was like, oh, this is totally how, what I believe and live my life. And I came out with this movie and I was like, I'm going to watch this movie every day for 1 month. I ended up watching it over a month, nothing but that. Day in and day out. I was so serious about manifesting. And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. And I saw all this amazing stuff. And God was like, oh yeah, kid. Okay, keep on doing that. Because there's some things that got to go in order for you to have all this stuff you think you want.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so I feel like after I did that in October, in January or November, January, I started to receive the backlash, if you will, of the beginning of the recession. Properties I had naively invested into, things just falling away. I'm looking at stuff falling apart and I'm feeling like I'm behind the 8 ball, honey. And I'm playing catch up with something, I just didn't know much about, but that was my, I came into something really green. I trusted, family, friends, they say, be careful, and I went down a path but I take full responsibility for my naivete. And that sent me in a tailspin. And even after that, I ended up going on a hiatus from my group that I'm a part of right now, which was very, very unexpected. And so I thought that was it. That was my tenure. And now I'm looking at how I had not been nurturing relationships. They say your network is your net worth. I had gotten complacent. I was a very disciplined person. I still am. But at the time, got a little complacent, got away from the things that made me successful in the first place. Stop planting seeds, watering them with my attention, holding a vision, all that good stuff that makes you gold. I was not necessarily doing it on a regular basis. And then next thing you know, bam, I hit a drought.
Ooh.
None of the doors of opportunity would open that I tried to push. God had to put me on my knees and say, hey, kid, you say you want all of this, but these habits can't go with you.
Wow.
This behavior pattern that you've allowed to kind of fester can't go with you. You got to get back to the basics, do some self-inventory, make some changes, and you got to go hard in the paint till you see change. And that was difficult. It was scary. It was mysterious.
Ooh.
But it has produced a resilience in me that would not have come without the adversity.
Wow.
So yeah, those things help to make me more gold.
Wow, what a powerful story. I love what you said about sometimes you got to let go of the things that you're holding on to in order to welcome the things that you think you want.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That
We
is
think we
so
can take
powerful.
everything with us. And sometimes those things have to fall away to make room for what it is you actually want. And we may not know what that looks like and what you need to have around you or within you to even sustain it. He could give it to you. God could give it to you. But do you even have what it takes to sustain it if you get it, to maintain? And they say, look, I don't want to give this to you. You just squander it. And even if you do, that's okay too, because even your missteps can be your right steps because, if you learn from it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it really goes back to this transformational journey. It's a journey. It's not a boom, boom, and you're there. It's all about that journey, all about that life road and learning and experiencing those moments so that when you do get to the final destination, quote unquote, you're ready.
Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
is there, and you know what, Doc? Like, is there a final destination, right? Like,
Yeah,
we land somewhere and then there's someplace else to go.
that's so true. That's so true. Wow.
Yeah.
So, what are some key aspects or habits that have helped you to further develop your golden attributes? Is there anything that you do on the daily or regularly that really kind of helps feel you?
Absolutely. I am an avid gratitude practicer. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm usually going into no less than 5 minutes of gratitude. No matter what I got to find, I'm grateful for it. Even if it's, I'm thankful to be able to say thank you again.
Ooh.
I mean, I'll go to the common to not like the lowest and to the highest. So I practice gratitude. I practice meditation, Vedic in particular. I learned back in 2011. And the reason I love it or really appreciate and respect it so much is that to me, you know how in meditation, they be like, well, you got to quiet the mind and all this stuff. I'm like, look, my brain is going crazy. So I don't know. I don't have patience for all this. And what I liked about Vedic meditation is it's like, it was a reflection of my spiritual walk, which is no, embrace it all. If you got a lot of thoughts coming up, they're asking to get your attention, even not to judge them, just let them bubble up to your conscious mind and watch them like passing cars so that they can fire off. That energy needs a place, an outlet to fire off.
An
And so when I
outlet.
didn't judge that I was having these thoughts and I allowed them to be there without judgment, not making them right or wrong or good or bad, then they were able to just freely flow out of me and I could naturally attain this more relaxed, transcendental meditative state. And so
Beautiful.
you just practice it, right? And it's like sometimes it's a loud experience and you say, that's okay. And then sometimes it's a very quiet and serene experience, and that's okay too.
Ooh. Wow, that's so powerful. So you allow these thoughts to pass through and you don't judge them. You let them pass.
Yeah. Just like
Wow.
passing cars. Like if you go out to the
Okay.
street, you're not judging the red car that just passed. You just recognize the red car that just passed.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
that's an incredible practice and you do this on the regular, on every day.
Yeah. Every day, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Every.
incredible. You're listening to Golden Sessions with docPEACE on KNSJ 89.1 FM. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back, so stay tuned. And
Let's do it.
we're back.
I
You're
love it.
listening. You're listening to Golden Sessions with docPEACE on KNSJ 89.1 FM. I'm docPEACE, and we are here with Miss Rhona Bennett. Let's get back into it. So,
Let's
Miss
do it.
Rhona, how do
Yeah.
you share these golden attributes of yours? You've already described what your golden attributes are, how incredibly talented you are. We already know in your music and and being so incredible in the music industry and your coaching. So, can you share with us more on how you share these golden attributes of yours?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably several ways. Well, one is definitely through my coaching. I take people through 12 weeks of transformation. We deal with limiting beliefs. We deal with emotional trauma. We deal with coming into our authentic selves as much as we possibly can so that who we are being is creative, and then we can bring that to life in whatever we're doing. Right. So there's that. During shows, sometimes I'll just see light going out over the audience, or I'm making contact in particular with someone's eyes. Energy is huge. I
Yes.
do incantations before going out there so that I can turn myself on in a way that heightens my energy, and I'm available to give and to receive, right? But to deliver, circulate amazing light, high vibe energy. Um, and Yeah, just being loving myself, loving myself enough to self nurture and put up healthy boundaries is another way to share what's golden about me and hopefully to trigger and inspire what's golden in other people.
Wow, that's beautiful. What do you mean when you say discovering healthy boundaries?
Sometimes, especially as an empath, a person who's very open and available for healing and loving and, creating space for people to show up as who they are. It can sometimes, if you don't put some healthy boundaries up, it can get a little emotionally abusive, right? It can get a little emotionally heavy or draining or energetically draining. So I think it's important to know your value system, know yourself, honor yourself, trust your intuition, get into all of these tools like gratitude, practicing silence or just in stillness, going into meditation, all hopefully helping you to get more and more integrity with yourself so that you have the opportunity to know who you are, what's good or what's not so good for you, and then to honor that with other people.
Wow.
Those type of healthy boundaries.
So really tapping into what your values are and assessing whether or not what other opportunities that come about if they align with those values. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I love how I got this image of you on stage performing, making eye contact with a particular individual. I mean, and it just sounds so incredible to be that individual that is making eye contact with Miss Rhona Bennett while she's while she's singing on stage. And I mean, that moment, there's something special about these moments where we allow ourselves to connect,
Yes.
with our eyes, to connect, to drop in emotionally, to connect.
Yes.
Oh, something so special. And I think we need to really honor those moments. Take the time to look up and see another individual and say, hey, I see you. You're not in this alone. We're together. I see you.
Yeah. That reminds me of years ago, I was interviewing, I want to say it was Frenchie Davis, but, she was saying that at one point she was homeless for a second. And I was like, what's the toughest thing you think you dealt with, other than some of the other things she mentioned? But one of them was feeling invisible. That's what a lot of
Wow.
homeless people think about, that they feel invisible, sometimes even more than your money could be the value of your eye contact. I have a
Whew.
chill. Like sometimes more than your money is the value of you just saying hello, to acknowledge that they're there, that they're existing, that they matter in that moment, that they are being seen.
Yes.
Isn't that
Yes.
interesting?
So interesting. I mean, more than your money. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that to me is so very valuable.
Yeah.
And it's something that we take for granted oftentimes, right? Because when you're walking and when you're out and about and everyone's distracted looking at their phones, and it's
Yep.
just it's important to pull yourself away from those distractions and take a moment to acknowledge the person walking beside you or in front of you, because there's something so very powerful about that. It's priceless.
Oh my gosh, we're saying something right now that I think is really powerful for all of us to hear. In a world where we are in weapons of mass distraction, okay?
Mass distraction.
Mass distraction. You got social media, you got every ding and bling on your phone, giving you all these little dopamine squirts, making you want to keep coming back, and listening to them and go check more nothingness, okay? It ain't nothing in that box, and I see so many people, so many of us do it. I'm sure I'm included in this. I'm not making myself exempt at all, but just to bring our awareness to this, that so many of us can sit across from each other and we're looking at our phones. And I see this happen a lot with kids. I was at a restaurant the other day and this baby was making so much noise, and so much so that it made me look up like, what's going on with this kid? And the baby was trying so hard to get his mom's attention.
Oh.
And she was like, leave me alone. And she's in her phone. And we don't know that this level of emotional neglect can affect us as adults. This can carry with you into your adulthood. So I'm so glad that we're bringing this up, because I study the human condition a lot, and I think we all could stand to get it like a little nudge, because awareness is the first key to change. That nudge that says, hey, don't forget, we are conditioning our children, we're conditioning our relationships, we're conditioning our loved ones, whoever, with emotional neglect. And it can hurt how we're able to connect.
Wow. And those connections are what ground us. Those connections are what unite us. And so it's just so very important to be aware, to be cognizant of that, and take advantage of those opportunities that come when we are given the opportunity to connect with one another.
Yes, because we're built on connection, right? They say when
Right?
babies are born, they need love, to survive. So, we
Wow.
were once a baby.
That's true. We were. So, is there a significant moment on your life road that you can share with us in which you know in your heart that you ignited a light in someone else?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm gonna say that I've probably gotten lucky, based on my profession of coaching, to light a light in a lot of people. So I'll
Beautiful.
just put it on that, my coaching has afforded me the opportunity to touch a lot of different souls from a lot of different parts of the world. And I'm so grateful that I'm consciously on my journey, not in a space of perfection or anything like that. I got my own stuff to deal with, but I'm conscious enough that I know the power of connecting to people and pouring into them, um, with love.
Wow. Pouring into others with love. I can just envision that, this outflow of love, and it's just so
Mhm.
beautiful. It's just so beautiful.
You're
So,
beautiful, docPEACE.
oh, thank you so much, Rhoda.
You
You
guys
are
need to see
beautiful.
her. You can't see her physicality, but she is like so passionate and juicy, honey, with the way she expresses herself in her hands. And she's so there in her eyes, and she's like receiving and very present. It's really beautiful.
Oh, you're so beautiful, Rhoda. Thank you so much. Oh, I love your positivity and your light and your love. So I feel like you are living in your purpose. In what ways do you feel that you are aligned with your purpose? Do you feel that you are living your best life in real time right now?
I do. And because I claim it so, because there's always more, right? You could be insatiable about it. We could all be insatiable, like, oh, there's more. I don't have this. I don't have that.
Yeah.
But I don't have this yet. It's like, but there's a great quote. Here it is. There's a great quote that I love. It says, gratitude turns what we have into enough.
Wow. Gratitude turns what we have into enough.
Enough. So if I'm looking for all the things I'm grateful for, there's no room to talk about what I'm not, because I'm only focused on what I am. So in that sense, yes.
Yes, I love that. That is such a beautiful statement because it's so true. Like oftentimes we focus on what we don't have, when if you align yourself with what you do have and you show gratitude for that, then not only does it open more doors for more
Things
things
to
and
take.
opportunities to come in,
Yeah.
but it also helps you feel grateful and just so warm and so loved in that moment
Yeah,
versus
it's the high
neglected. And
vibration.
go ahead,
No,
Rona.
I'm sorry. I was about to say that to you. I was like, I'm sorry. You keep going.
Oh, because we had this conversation actually the other day. I was having this conversation about how we oftentimes tend to focus on what we can't do
Yeah.
and not so much about what we can do, especially right
Mm-hmm.
now in this interesting time that we're in. What about
Mm-hmm.
all the things that we have? What about all the things that we can do, that we're capable of doing in this moment?
Right.
Right? Let's show gratitude for those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know I'm rocking with you.
Wow. So, Rona, you've been absolutely incredible with us. You've shared with us so many incredible pieces of advice and ways that we can really improve our lives and bring out the gold that's within each of us, because I believe that everyone is either gold or has the potential to be gold. So, you've
Yeah.
given us so many tools in order to bring out that gold within us and
Yay.
let that light shine. Is there any other piece of advice that you'd be willing to share with us today?
Wow. Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you, for the space to talk and be in the midst of your beautiful energy. It's really,
Oh,
really pleasant.
you're so welcome.
Um, any advice? Not really. I feel like I kind of shared, and maybe just, I don't want to say anything cliche either. I don't. I just really I just like, you know what? I mean, it may sound good, but be you, do you, but that's easier said than done. But I just hope that everybody is continuing to self-explore and be gentle with yourself while you do it, while you come into this next greatest version of you.
Beautiful. So tap into that space, give yourself permission to be you, do you, as you tap into the next version of you.
Yeah,
Wow.
and be gentle with yourself while you do it, because you might see some things that you want to judge about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily what you have to do. Don't even judge it. Just be in recognition of it, you know, or be aware of it. And if there's something you
Yeah.
want to tweak it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Don't settle, or don't overcommit to a certain version of yourself. Give yourself permission to change, to evolve, to learn something new, to explore the unknown, to really kind of further that creation and that development, that evolution of who you are and what you're destined to be.
Come on, flower.
Beautiful. I love it. Wow. So how can we connect with you further, Rhona?
You can find me at my turnstile, which is rhonabennett.com. All
Okay.
my social media handles are there. But if you want, come hang out with me at Instagram. I usually do weekly messages to support you on your walk. I also pause for things like Blackout Tuesday to continue to bring awareness to the shift that we're making on the social justice front. This is part of my contribution of being an active voice for the voiceless, and as well as taking action in whatever way I can whenever the opportunity arises. And follow me on Facebook. I'm pretty active on there as well, but I share a lot of my Facebook lives on my Instagram. So come and be supported.
Oh, yes. Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much, Rhona, for blessing us with your time and your energy, your positivity, your light, and your love.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're listening to Golden Sessions with docPEACE on KNSJ 89.1 FM. That concludes today's session. Thank you for joining us today. And remember, you are gold. We all are. And together we thrive. I'm docPEACE. Keep shining.
You did so good.
Let's do it. Are you my friend? I'll admit, I'm confused. I used a friend request and now I follow. Am I in this alone? I once thought that birds flew solo, each bird on its own, just feathers and bone, relying alone on their wings to soar. Now I see that even though they move independently, they are part of something much greater than what they could be individually. And like a bird, I may sing to my own music and dance to my own drum, but connections round me, reminding me that I am not alone. My purpose is greater than me, myself, or I. I once believed that whether or not I chose to use my gifts was my prerogative. But does bearing my talents to you or I any good? Pardon my mind delay. Sometimes I may need to remind my mind what it's capable of. Jog myself from doubt to a confident state. See, I am not alone, my friend. And neither are you. I see you. We are in this flock together for the better, and together we thrive. Together we thrive.